Welcome to episode 4. We're talking about friendship drama today, Michelle.
That's right. I don't know what chapter that is in the book, but it is a chapter.
It is a chapter and it's a really good chapter.
It's a long chapter.
This can often be an intense and heavy topic that we're dealing with as parents. And sometimes I think we don't know what to say, we don't know how to handle it, we don't know how to help our kids.
And it's more than quick comebacks.
That was a question that I was going to jump into.
Oh, really?
I love that because I think sometimes we don't always have the skills as parents to handle our kids' drama when they're feeling isolated or they're feeling misunderstood and they're going through these really difficult times. Quick comebacks are a way of helping our kids. Now I'm going to throw my husband under the bus. He'll often that's a strategy he will use a lot with our kids, use a quick comeback. But I feel like, is that enough? And is that actually even helping our kids?
Well, it's part of one of the tools they can use, all right? So I say to kids, don't let drama determine who you are. So the first thing I want them to do is stand really grounded in who they are. Okay. So I want them to remember who they are and their integrity. That's really, really an important starting point. And reading the room is a skill that I think we've kind of not stopped and paused long enough for our kids to realize that's the very first thing I want them to do. Too often times I see kids shooting off their mouth or quick comebacking, not realizing that person in front of them has twice as much power or status, and they get themselves in over their head way too quickly. So I think we have to be really careful about the quick comeback and recognize when it's appropriate to use and when it isn't. So there's 3 departments or boxes I put in front of kids to use in this toolkit that I give them. So it's the exit strategies and it's the not my circus, not my monkeys. That's what I call it.
Love that saying. Use it at home. Yep.
So it's just this is not my battle to fight. Sounds like a you problem. I'm moving out of here. And sometimes then they can say the quick comeback under their breath or in their heart to remind themselves of who they are, but it doesn't necessarily have to come out of their mouth. The second one is the verbal response, which includes quick comebacks.
Okay.
And then the third one is the non-verbal response, because our facial expressions and our body can actually say a lot to somebody.
When our kids are in the drama cyclone, and we want to come in and rescue them. And I think every parent feels that. And we want to advocate for our kids and we want to be there for them. Yeah. But how do we not rescue them but actually support and help them along that when we just instinctively want to protect and fight those other kids?
Yeah, process your emotions away from your kids to start
Okay,
with.
Number 1, thanks, noted.
And recognise when you just want to start a nuclear war, because that's what quick comebacks really can be. Yep. It's am I just starting a nuclear war situation here where the only out is going to be this big explosion where nobody wins? We're just destroying the world here. No one's actually going to get anything out of this. So I think sometimes even when parents go up to the school hot-headed and they're just really not heard the other side of the story or not listened to anybody else's opinion, and they're not going up to the school to say, look, this is what I have heard. Could you tell me what I haven't heard? That's the scenario we put ourselves in.
Absolutely. Something I highlighted in the book, it might be at the end of that chapter, was the 48-hour rule.
Yeah, that's it.
Tell our audience a little bit more about that. I found that really helpful.
Okay.
Why 48 hours?
Yeah. It's just, I don't know why 48 hours. Parents, 48 hours. After your kids have a friendship drama, I say you do and say very little unless their safety is on the line. Okay. Because I'll tell you why. Over the years, I've learned that within 2 days, kids normally sort themselves out, and if they haven't, then you have an issue where they either need to be upskilled or you may need to step in.
Okay, so we're rescuing them and we're actually stopping them from developing the skills that they need.
Yeah. So watch them. We don't want to dial down the drama. We actually want to help them move through the pain quicker, but we want them to feel that pain. We want them to actually be able to process that pain quicker by giving them tools and skills. And that's what this friendship framework and all the principles are about.
Okay, so I think people need this book because you outline not just the concepts you've gone through, but a lot more strategies and skills that parents can use and teach and work with their kids. Yeah. If we were getting that and our kids going through drama, what's some advice that you would give to us as parents. You talk about the Venus flytrap.
Oh, I do.
You do. And I love that analogy. Tell us more about that.
Okay. When I'm in schools, right, and I've done this like for years and years, I've talked about drama being a little bit like a Venus flytrap, and I've used that, The Godfather, they suck you in. But once you get in, you're never going to get out, that. But it's like a Venus flytrap. It looks attractive. It looks gorgeous to start with. But the closer you get to it, the moment you get into it, it'll snap shut. And drama is very difficult to get out of once you're in it. And all the Year 9 girls, or actually Year 7 and 8 these days particularly, they just nod. Like, it is so hard to get out of once you get into it. And so I outline in the book the warning signs that you are getting sucked into drama, or you're walking towards the Venus flytrap.
Right.
And if they can see it before they get snap shut on, then they are going to avoid a lot of pain. And I give them some one-liners too to say in their heart or out of their mouth that can sort of help them slow down their steps towards it because, it's tasty morsels as well, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
We don't like to admit that, but it can be.
Yeah.
Michelle, I know a lot of parents struggle to deal with the friendship drama or have the right words to say. Yeah. If you could speak to a parent right now whose child may be going through some really difficult friendship drama and they may have skipped to this podcast or that part of the book, what advice would you like to leave with them today?
Yeah, well, I'll go straight to that chapter, which is really beautiful, but slow down. Not everything is an emergency. Yep. And part of what your kid is learning right now is regulation, which is friendship's best kept secret.
I love that. Regulate yourself so you can regulate your kid. Michelle, thank you for joining us on this episode, number 4 of Friendship Drama. And if you're a parent out there, it's not a matter of if your kid's going to go through some friendship drama, it's when. So grab your copy of Friendship Smart, and Michelle has so many more great skills and tips in that to help you along your parenting journey. Thanks, Michelle.